Hey, it's Elizabeth, Countess Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to do a keto success story. Coming up next. I am so excited to do an interview with Lindy today. I'm just getting my analytics set up. I'm super pumped to talk to her about her keto weight loss. She's had amazing, incredible success on the keto journey. So it's going to be a great interview. While I'm getting everything all set up, make sure you like this video, make sure you click subscribe, and make sure you share it too, because Lindy is a great interview. It's so nice to see you. How's it going?
Good. I'm nervous. I don't know why.
Don't be nervous. I promise I won't bite you, at least not this time.
It's not like I haven't talked to you, but it's different. It's like when you're in the internet world.
That's right. It's different. We've done encouragement calls together and talked on the phone a whole bunch, but like talking like video wise is different. Right. But I would love for you to share how long you've been on keto and what your weight loss has been through keto.
Okay. I've been on keto 5 months, and I started off paleo before that. I did paleo for about 6 years. Wow. and then kind of found my way to keto. And then I've lost 25 pounds and I've gone down two sizes.
Wow, that is amazing. And I love following you, Lindy, on Instagram, on YouTube, with your business website. I put those all in the description link below. What made you switch from doing paleo? Why did you kick it over to doing keto?
I struggled with my weight like all my life, but especially from my 20s on because of hypothyroid. And I was always searching for the way to lose the weight. So I started, instead of doing that, search for a way to help the thing that was causing the weight gain. So yes. I started doing lots of research, found my way to paleo, and then felt a lot better, lost a little bit of weight, and then, kind of somehow made my way to finding about keto. I think probably it was Mark Sisson that I first heard about it from, because he's, so big in the primal world. And then, I did a lot of research and I just decided I needed to try it. And it wasn't that different from paleo. So it was kind of just, bringing it in a little bit.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
That's awesome. And so what has been your biggest top 3 tips from doing keto that you've learned, or somebody who's new? We'll talk about new and seasoned people, but someone who's new, what will be your top 3 tips for someone who's new, who's starting keto to do?
I would say keep it simple. Don't try to, like, your first week, make all these recipes that you find on Pinterest that are like, oh my gosh, I have to make every keto bread and every keto casserole and all that stuff. Just eat meat and vegetables and fat.
Yes.
Keep it simple. That way you don't have to think so much and wrap your head around everything. You're just starting to wrap your head around macros. You don't want to wrap your head around all these recipes. That would be one. Other would be to plan, if you're going somewhere, you're going to go out to eat or with some girlfriends or with a work thing, go ahead of time to the website and see what they have and plan in your head what you're going to have, because you're less likely to make a bad choice because you're like in the moment, like they need you to hurry up and order and you're just like, oh, I just want this. Right. And then you order like, oh, I forgot to tell them to, take off the sauce or take off the whatever, and then I guess the other one would be to not get discouraged if you don't lose 100 pounds in 2 months. Like, there are people that lose a lot faster than others, especially people like me with hypothyroidism, and
yes.
You can't compare it to everybody else's because not everybody's going to lose that much that fast. Some people do, but some people don't.
Right. And I always share with people too of comparing apples to apples. Some people have, 200 pounds to lose, 100 pounds to lose, 20 pounds to lose, losing those in different time frames too.
Right.
It's not comparing the same thing. And so you're comparing, I don't know, it's like comparing an elephant to a mouse. Like you can't, like, it's not the same thing. Right. So those are some great suggestions. So we've talked about hypothyroidism. Do you have any tips for people that you've learned with your hypothyroidism? Mindset sounds like it's one of them, but do you have other tips for hypothyroidism to help lose weight with keto?
I find I do better with a little more fat. Then like some people are like, oh, they're afraid to eat that fat, but I find I notice that I lose more when I've really stuck to my, looking at how much fat I've eaten in the day and stick to that number. Or, not saying like, oh, I haven't had this much, I have 20 minutes before I go to bed, shove it all in your face, but but just kind of being mindful of making sure you get your fats in during the day. I think that helps a lot. And when I notice I don't lose when I don't pay attention to it as much, you know?
Yeah.
So, and creepy carbs, I try to watch out for that.
Are you a big label reader?
Yes, I always have been. I mean, even before paleo, but and I'm not a big sugar-free, like you were saying, a lot of people get stalled by sugar-free. I don't really like a lot of them. They taste artificial to me. Even the ones that have stevia and stuff, to me, it tastes super sweet. So there's not a whole lot of them that I like. So that kind of helps too. I don't have to worry about like, oh, I missed that because I don't.
Right. If you are just joining us, I'm so excited to talk to Lindy. She's been one of our longtime Hannahs of Low Carb success folks who's usually in the comments with our lives, and she always has such amazing insight. Make sure you like this video, make sure you click subscribe and share it. Lindy, do you do anything with blood? Have you gotten into those blood prickers like Keto Mojo or glucose or anything like that?
I haven't yet, but it's on my list of, I have this, how we have our Amazon wish list. It's on there to get the Keto Mojo. Because I kept debating, did I want the blood one? Did I want the breath one? And I think I'm going to go with the blood one after, especially listening to a few podcasts lately. I think that's the one that I want to get. But I've used the sticks a little bit in the beginning, the urine ones. But I haven't really used them that much because I know they're not that accurate, especially after a while.
Yeah, I will be releasing next week more about my Keto Mojo experience because I've been listening to podcasts and other people's experience, and I wanted to test it and have been doing it. Next week will be 2 weeks of my results. I'm fascinated. So when people say that they do it or don't do it, I'm always fascinated.
I'm really interested in insulin resistance. So I want to see that on there, like how that different things affect me. So I am really curious.
Yeah. What are the big resources that you love to go to help keep your mindset up for weight loss? Do you have any particular go-to spots that help fuel your positivity? Because you're such a positive person.
Your group.
Thank you.
A couple of Facebook groups, but also I like to read. I'm not a big fast reader, so it takes me a long time to read. But I like to read, success stories, and I like to listen to a lot of podcasts because I can do stuff while I'm listening to them, and of course YouTube. There's a lot of people on YouTube.
Yes. And are you a late night snacker? Does that affect you at all, late night snacking, or no?
Not so much anymore. If I've had some alcohol, then you get the munchy kind of a thing, But other than that, I'm not. I've been fairly. Ever since doing keto, if I eat after 8 o'clock, it's rare. But I do, sometimes we'll have a treat. We'll have ice, keto ice cream or something like that, but not very often.
Good. And you traveled a bunch this summer, or you were not in your home setting. Can you share some of the things that you learned this summer about travel that might help people or people who are away from home, maybe not even necessarily traveling, but just away from home?
Yeah. So I was gone 5 weeks. I work at the University of North Texas every summer. And so I was staying at someone else's house, using someone else's kitchen. So I had to really think about how big of a mess I wanted to make every week. So before I left, I pre-planned. I made a bunch of keto bagels and some egg, made a whole pack of bacon and things like that. So the first week I had all of those, and then I brought my lunch every day. So that's a tip I always say: if you can bring your lunch, no matter, even if you're at home, if you're go to work or whatever. So I could control what was in it, because I knew that at least once a day I'd probably be eating out, or at least every other day. And so I thought, if I can control what's in that one meal for sure, I would do better. And I didn't try to let it be an excuse, because I'm with friends I don't see all the time while I'm up there. So it was kind of, I didn't want it to be an excuse to be like, oh, I can just have one little bit of this or one little bit of that. So, and also I made a challenge for myself to exercise every single day that I was there. Because I felt like if there was any creepy carbs in some fast food or whatever, that that would help offset, kind of somewhat. At least that's what I told myself.
Yeah. I love watching your journey with your workouts on Instagram. It was so motivating.
So I think, and I'm just planning out every day. Like, am I going to bring my breakfast this morning? Am I fasting this morning? Am I going to, go to Starbucks, you know, planning out ahead of time so that I'm not like making bad choices.
Yes. I love that you're a planner. I'm a planner too. Checklist. Love my checklist. Makes me so happy. So what's your favorite thing for eating out? If you're out and about and you're eating lunch out or eating dinner out, what would be your favorite meal to get?
I'm big on bunless burgers with a fried egg on top. That's like my favorite burger. And so I always try to make sure I have like the right amount of protein left for whatever, because I know that's a lot of protein at one time. But yeah, with avocado, bacon, all that, that's like my favorite going out meal.
Girl, I'm breaking my fast after this. That is making my tummy rumble. That sounds delicious. Do you like your egg ooey gooey?
Yes. So then you don't need any condiments because you have the egg running all over the burger and it's just the perfect taste altogether.
Ah, genius. I have not had my egg running on top. I surprisingly have not done that. I'm going, literally after we finish this video, I'm going to do that. That sounds delicious.
Well, good.
Sounds so good. So you like the burger. Do you have any other favorites that you like?
I love salads. I'm a big salad person. That's one of the things when I was doing that week of carnivore that I was just like, oh my gosh, I want a salad so bad. Because I love salads. So I'm big on salads.
So people who are watching who don't know what carnivore is, can you explain what carnivore is?
Carnivore, is basically meat and animal products. So no sweeteners, no vegetables, no fruit, which we don't eat that much fruit anyway on keto. But so just basically meat, fat, and animal products, butter, that kind of stuff.
Good. Good. Weight loss dolls, have you encountered them and any tips for them?
Well, I feel like I'm constantly on a weight loss doll just because I'm a slow loser. But I feel like if I have too much heavy whipping cream or too much cheese, I won't lose as much. So I have to really watch that. So I started, if I'm planning on having a casserole that night or, you know, something that has a lot of cheese that day, then I try not to have any cheese in the other 2 meals, or if I have 2 meals, or that way I'm not having cheese all day long. Yeah.
That's good. Good. And do you do bulletproof coffee or keto coffee, or is that part of your repertoire?
Yeah, I do. If I'm fasting, I do more than one, obviously. But if I'm not fasting, I'll just try to keep it to 1, and then the rest of my coffees will just be black or maybe with a little bit of heavy whipping cream.
Do you fast? You mentioned it, but yes. What's your fasting schedule?
I try to do 3 or 4 days a week. Sometimes that works out, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's more days. It depends. I find I fast on Saturday a lot because I know we're gonna have like a bigger meal on Saturday night or something. So I like to do the 1 meal a day on Saturday and maybe another day. But I don't do well fasting when I'm tired. I've noticed that. So if I'm tired, I wake up hungry. So I think sleeping helps.
For sure.
3 or 4 days a week.
Sweet. And so I get asked this all the time about family, about people you live with doing keto. Can you share a little bit about people that you live with doing keto?
Well, my husband is doing keto now with me. When I'm here, when I was gone, he was cheating. So he's gonna watch this later. But he still lost weight, of course, and he was cheating, and that irritated me. But he is doing it with me to support me, and he has said that he knows that this is probably the best way to eat, even though the other stuff really does taste good. You know, he's like, bread is his favorite food group, so this is really hard for him. So I'm proud of him for doing it. My son is at college, and my daughters don't live. Well, one lives here, but not in the house. But none of them are doing keto, but they've seen me doing it, and they I don't know, maybe one of these days.
Yes. Do you ever have non-keto foods in your house?
I do have some things because my grandkids come over, and so I have stuff for them to eat. It doesn't seem to bother me. Like, it doesn't tempt me. I think it would tempt my husband, but for some things, you know. But I haven't eaten a lot of stuff that other people think as non-keto foods for a long time because I was doing paleo. So to me, I'm not tempted as much, I guess, by those things. But if I was, I probably would have to keep it out of here.
Yes, 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 yes. We talked a little bit about meal prep, but now that you're back home and like back into your routine, back into your regular setting, do you do meal prep for the week with keto or?
I make like a whole week's of breakfast and
Mhm.
make all the bacon at once because I don't know why you'd want to cook like 2 pieces of bacon or whatever. I feel like it's just a waste
Preach
of
it.
time. Yes, just make the whole pack,
Yeah,
and then I put it
yeah.
in something and I put it in the fridge. And then I'll do like bone broth every week in my Instant Pot and some.
You
I
make
don't
your own bone
really.
broth. I just broke my pen. You make your own bone broth.
Yeah, I make it
Please
once a
tell
week.
everyone how you make your own bone broth. Now I'm fascinated,
Oh,
even
it's so
more than I
easy.
already was.
You just get I get grass-fed bones from the butcher, which
Mhm.
or the meat market, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
And or you can save them if you eat
Mhm.
meat. Just stick them in a bag in the freezer until you have enough. And I put
What
them
kind
in
of
my.
bones? Would that be like a ribeye
I do
bone?
beef. I've done chicken broth and I've
Uh-huh.
done beef, but I like the taste of the beef better, so I just do beef. So I put the bones in the Instant Pot.
Wait, is it like from my ribeye or where am I getting these bones? What kind of what?
Any piece of meat, it doesn't matter.
Any? It
Yeah,
doesn't
any
matter. So I
bone.
could have feasibly have like a T-bone and have
Yeah,
saved the
you can
T-bone
save those.
bone.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Okay, okay.
So I put those in the Instant Pot. I put 1 carrot, 1 onion, and then garlic, and then pink sea salt, apple cider vinegar, and pepper, and that's it. And celery, sorry. And then I fill it with water to the fill line, and 120 minutes on manual, and that's it.
What? And
And
how
then I
long
put
does
it in
that
jars.
keep for? 1 week at a time
Um,
or?
It makes a lot. So you could freeze part of it if you wanted to. When I have it made, we drink it, and I also cook with it too. I'll put it in if I'm making something I need broth for. But you could freeze it, and you can freeze it in mason jars. Just don't fill it up all the way, and you can freeze it in Ziploc bags too, freezer bags. But we usually go through it, so I don't really usually have to freeze it.
And do you do it once a week? I'm sorry. Was that a once a
Yeah,
week thing?
I do it once a week, but some people could do it every other week or whatever, but just depending on how often they're drinking it. Because I try to drink a cup of it a day usually.
Mhm. Angie was asking, how long does it last in the fridge?
I've had it in there up to 2 weeks and it's still fine, but I probably personally wouldn't go over that just because I wouldn't know for sure,
Right.
But you can tell by smelling it if it's not good anymore. I mean, if
Yeah.
it smells bad, don't drink it.
And how often do you have that in a day, and do you add fats into it?
I don't add fats to it because all of that good gelatin gets to the top of the jar, and I just take a scoop of that fat and stick it in my cup with the broth, with the bottom part. So I feel like I'm getting some fat in there. But I drink it once a day, 1 mug a day, somewhere.
And
in the
do you
feeding
drink
window.
that at any particular time during the day, or does it
No,
not really
it's random. Yeah, it just depends on what I'm doing.
Fascinating. I love it. I'm literally going to be doing my Instapot cooking with you, thinking of you later today with my bones.
Hey.
Sounds delicious. Did you have any other things that you wanted to share to seasoned ketoers of your best tips? We talked about new ketoers, but to seasoned ketoers of how you continuously keep going along your keto journey.
I try not to listen to the negative thoughts. I try to listen, like whenever I see someone who's like, oh, I've been doing keto like same amount of time as me for 5 months and I've lost 100 pounds. And then I'm like, you have to not listen to that because your self-talk is like, oh, you should be doing better, or you should,
Right.
And I really try to keep myself in check because that's so easy to do. Because like you said, just comparing your journey to someone else's journey, and I try real hard not to do that because I know that I'm just gonna beat myself up.
Yes.
But I guess I think of it as that I started this for my health and the weight loss is a benefit. Because if I think of it as I'm doing it for the weight loss, then I'm going to get discouraged because I'm a slow loser. So
yes,
I feel like the weight loss is just gravy. That's just, I'll get that. It'll come. The rest of it.
I love it. I love it. It is just gravy. And you talked about moving. What do you like to do for workouts or to do body? I love watching the Instagram, but what do you share with everyone what you like to do?
My favorite workout is CrossFit, which I do most of the time when I'm here during the year, but I start back in September. But while I was gone in the summer, I joined Planet Fitness just because it was cheap and it was easy. You know, I wouldn't have any excuses not to go because I had a place to go while I was there. And so I've been doing that until next month when I go back to CrossFit. But I like anything with weights, and I love my kettlebell and my jump rope. Those are my favorite workouts.
You jump with a jump rope?
Yeah.
Girl.
So like my favorite workout is a CrossFit workout called Annie, and so you alternate between jumping rope and doing sit-ups. And so
oh my God,
that's like my favorite workout because you can do it anywhere if you have a jump rope, you know.
That's true. That's true. I don't know why I'm so jump rope adverse. I feel like it's just a lot of jiggling, and I just can't.
I still can't do double unders. I mean, I've been doing CrossFit since 2012, and I still can't do a double under. But you know, that's okay. I can jump really fast though.
I'm impressed. I am impressed. I want to see the Instagram of you jumping rope because I'm super impressed. Because I cannot. I try and I'm like, like I don't know. There's a lack of coordination. I feel like which.
Well, I have that too.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Everyone watching, make sure you click like, make sure you click subscribe, make sure you share all of Lindy's contact information, her amazing YouTube, her awesome Instagram, which I love. I stalk her on Instagram, to be perfectly honest. Her Facebook group, all of that is down below. Do you have any other closing thoughts before we sign off? Anything else for inspiration or people on the keto journey or weight loss journey that you would love to share from your keto success?
Just don't give up. I mean, also don't let negative people make you give up. Because I started keto originally, I joined one of those Facebook groups and felt people weren't very nice. And so I was like, if this is how people are, I don't want any part of it. And then it's kind of turned me away for a couple of months. And then I came back, you know, after, you know, finding that there's some better people. But yeah, don't let other people discourage you. Or even people that are in your family or friends that are non-keto people. Don't let them discourage you to not do it, and don't, you know, just keep going.
That's right. That's right. Just keep going. And everyone can join my Facebook group, Countess of Low Carb group, if you want positive encouragement, or Lindy's. Lots of good support out there of good people who are cheering each other on. So you cheer me on, Lindy. You motivate me. Thank you so much for being one of our keto success stories. And we appreciate you. So thanks, doll.
Thank you.
Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye,
All right,
Lindy.
bye.